Got a quick screencast here to explain our next major phase of our Civil Rights Unit, which is a project around this central question: who has changed the world? What we're going to be looking at here are people involved in civil rights from all over America, maybe with involving civil rights for African Americans, women's rights, Asian American rights, Latino rights. Basically, we're looking at you studying someone that has been an advocate for civil rights in America, and you're going to be studying them, their goals, their methods, and their outcomes. And the introduction kind of explains that to you, talking about the reason why we're doing this. And then it says down here, the task is simple: ignore the five above, meaning you can't research some of the more well known figures of the civil rights movement. We don't want you researching Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Jackie Robinson, Linda Brown, or John Lewis, who we've studied. We want you to find someone that fits your interests. Underneath that, it mentions the goal. We want you to demonstrate understanding by creating a learning aid designed to educate other people about civil rights and how one person in particular was an advocate for access to greater rights. That means ending discrimination for one particular group of people and through their efforts change the world. Here's the state standard we're looking at. Examine different goals, right? What they were trying to accomplish, methods, how they were trying to accomplish it, of groups who have advocated, fought for access to greater rights. And here are some examples again: women, religious groups, civil rights groups, indigenous peoples, LGBTQ movement. Those are some of the options for you. As I scroll down, some helpful hints. Do your research first. You're going to be making a learning aid, but you want to learn about your person before you create anything. You want to know about your person, their background, and their early experiences. We want a little biographical research here. We want to know where they came from and why they got involved in civil rights. You also want to look at the history of the rule or practice or Jim Crow law that they were struggling against. Were they like John Lewis? Were they struggling for voting rights or trying to break down segregation on interstate buses? What in particular were they trying to change? What was the method they chose to challenge the rule? Is it litigation in court? Is it civil disobedience, breaking the law? Is it marching? We want to know what their method was and what resulted from their efforts. Were they successful? Did they change things? Why or why not? Once you've done your research, you can create any kind of learning aid that you want, as long as it teaches the main ideas of what we wanted you to learn. You can do documentary, animation, a song, an online museum exhibit, a game, a children's book, a graphic novel, or something that we just can't think of that you would be able to create. At the last part of this document is trying to help you find someone to study. We've got the textbook here with the page numbers, and these are linked to the online version of the textbook, or you can use the textbook that's at the center table. Try to find a name in here of someone you might want to research. We've also got website options for you. We've got a biography.com website, which is phenomenal, all full of different civil rights activists. We've got a site that is just about Hispanic activists, Asian American activists, and Native American activists. So you can kind of pick what fits your interest. Again, pick someone that you're interested in, a group that you're interested in, and that will just make the project more engaging for you. We also have library books. Our librarian does a phenomenal job at the cart at the front of the room. There are all kinds of library books from different areas of the civil rights movement. You could just scroll or look through one of those, skim through it, find a name, and then you can use the book as one of your research documents. We also have just a general list. We've got all these people that students have studied in the past. We try to break it down based on category. We've got some on top here from the traditional African American civil rights movement: Brown v. Board, Montgomery bus boycott, people that were involved, Little Rock Crisis, Freedom Riders, all of those. And then underneath, we've got more from the civil rights movement, other notables. We've got some Latin American activists, Native American activists, women, and Asian Americans. And you can use the list if you want to get a start, if you're really struggling to find a name. Again, back up to the top, our goal here is to find someone who has changed the world and find that person. And as you research them, find out a little bit about their background, find out what their goals were, like what did they want to change, find out what their methods were, and find out whether or not they were successful. And if at any time you need more help with this, just see your instructor. Thank you.